Hey guys, it's Ash here with WatchMojo, and these are the top 10 most hilarious deaths in anime. For this list, we'll be looking at the funniest ways a character has met their maker in anime. Number 10, keep on trucking on. Zombieland Saga. Sakura is a high school girl with big dreams, high spirits, and a whole lot of heart.
私は源さくら。今日から高校2年生。
The only issue is, she never learned to look both ways before crossing the streets. So within a few minutes of the very first episode, both her and her aspirations are literally run over by a truck.
行ってきまーす。
To make it even funnier, the abrupt tonal shift is accentuated by a killer heavy metal track too. Unfortunately, Sakura gets into the habit of being struck by speeding vehicles, and somehow this gag is even more hysterical the second time through.
行ってきまーす。
Although, for the sake of Sakura's dignity, fingers crossed, it doesn't happen a third time. Number 9, too much brawn, not enough brain. One Punch Man. Communication is key in any relationship, but especially when you're plotting to take over the world.
すごいぞ弟よ。
So when the brainy half of this villainous duo ordered a squashing, he really should have specified which shoulder the enemy was on. Hindsight is 2020 though, and there's no time to clarify before the muscle part of his team splats his brother on accident.
肩に乗ってるやつを殺せ！
It lingers on the moment of realization just long enough to make the overblown reaction downright gut-busting. Since this is the very first episode, it's pretty much impossible to resist chuckling right alongside Saitama. After a showing like that, defeat by one punch is something of a mercy. Number 8, going out with a bang. Naruto Shippuden. Sometimes a show's at its funniest when it isn't even trying. That's certainly the case here.
この里はじいちゃんの宝物だ。俺はそれを守るんだ。
On paper, Nawaki's tragic demise is a pivotal moment for Tsunade's character, but the actual mode of death elicits more laughter than tears. There's just something deeply ironic about Orochimaru commending Nawaki's spirits right before he's blown to smithereens.
直樹、気負ってるわね。
There's no music cue, no pained reactions, and no hint of actual tragedy. Instead, when Nawaki's necklace gets thrown back, it plays out like the punchline to an unintentional joke. At least Tsunade takes it seriously, because it's gotta be difficult for anyone else to do the same.
戦争だからね、今は。
Number 7, Lancer dies, and dies again. Carnival Phantasm. The Fate Stay Night series is a brooding saga about sacrifice, honor, and the importance of a life. Its comedic spin-off, Carnival Phantasm, is a bit of a different story. There, Lance's penchant for dramatic deaths becomes a running gag. The poor guy meets his end in almost every episode in increasingly unceremonious ways. But the funniest part is the non-reaction from the rest of the cast. None of them seem particularly bothered by Lance's routine deaths, no matter how brutal. And that's if they remember his name at all.
これ死ぬよね。僕じゃなかったら死んでるよね。実際隣で知らない青タイツが死んでるよね。
Though, even if the rest of the cast doesn't care, Lance's committed screams ensure this joke never gets old. Number 6, Shot in the Dark, Death Note. Not even Light himself could have crafted a more poetic demise than this. And given how many bodies he's racked up, that's really saying something. For starters, Matt has no one to blame but himself for thick-headedly running right into the enemy's trap.
先回りしてる車か。どれだけいるんだ、高田の護衛ってのは。
But that's not even his biggest gaffe. Outnumbered, outgunned, and outmatched, the cocky sidekick then decides to call their very serious bluff. Suffice it to say, "you won't shoot" are the absolute funniest last words for someone who's then shot to death.
大体俺は高田様誘拐の共犯。聞きたいこともあるだろう。撃つわけ。
As the perfect cherry on top, the bodyguards proceed to say exactly what's on everyone's mind, that Matt really was an idiot.
バカがどうせ何も喋らんだろうし、キラ様に逆らった罪は死でしか償えないんだ。
Number 5. Sliced, not mashed. Magical Witch Punie-chan. The recipe for a spellbinding curry is as follows: plenty of rice, some spicy seasoning, and a heaping dose of magical vegetables. But when the sentient produce gets a bit shy on the diving boards, a brave potato steps up to the peeler. It's a truly inspiring display of courage that not so subtly winks at some of the genre's cheesiest deaths. The fact this dish stars carrots and potatoes just makes it all the sweeter, especially since, like any good demise, the potato turns around to give some worthwhile last advice. Sure, he's no onion, but this scene still brings forth a few tears, just from laughter instead of pain.
野菜が本当に生きてやがる。
Number 4. A slippery entrance. Excel Saga. For someone who founded the Department of City Security, Dr. Kabapu sure doesn't take many safety precautions in his day-to-day life. So for his grand entrance, he drops the lights, turns on some music, and slips his way to utter hilarity. His opening is a 10 out of 10, but Kabapu gets some serious deductions for the landing, or rather, the lack thereof. He gets completely wasted on the floor with some appropriate sound effects to go along with it. It's not memorable in the way he would have liked, but at least it left him and those watching in total stitches. Number 3. The Best Death. Fang of the Sun Dogram. In the midst of a war for freedom, it's not a stretch to say that Festo expected to go out with a bang. Of course, he probably assumed it would be on the battlefield, so it came as quite the shock when his motorcycle joyride ended in disaster. For all intents and purposes, the abrupt explosion should be tragic, but it's hard to do anything other than laugh, considering Festo had literally just finished gloating about how he's the best.
最高だ!
The pained cries of his comrades almost salvaged this scene, but even they can't turn this farce around. There's never been a better example that irony is a real cruel mistress. Number 2. Holding out for a hero. KonoSuba, God's blessing on this wonderful world. There's no shame in a glorious hero's death, but of course that means you actually have to save someone. Kazuma definitely had the right idea when he pushed a girl out of the way of an oncoming truck, except it was actually just a tractor.
危ない! トラックが!
なんでこんな時に限って俺柄にもないこと。
So not only did he shove a girl for no reason, but he then died from his misplaced anticipation. Honestly, it's a good thing he perished when he did, because the ridicule of his peers may have been worse than death.
俺の死因はトラクターに耕されたってこと？
いいえ、ショック死ですけど、トラックにひかれたと勘違いして。
シ 触死！
Thankfully, Kazuma resurrected in a parallel world, so he has a chance to try and redeem his embarrassing final moments.
あなたは惹かれそうになった恐怖で失禁、気を失い近くの病院に搬送、医者や看護師に笑われながら心臓麻痺。やめろ、聞きたくない聞きたくない聞きたくない。
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. A one-way trip. Nichijou. Dolph can take some solace that his demise is mercifully quick. Its legacy, however, will probably keep people cackling for years to come.
ドルフ、てめえ、自分で何やってんのか分かってんのかこら！
After all, death by tripping has got to be one of the most humiliating ways to go, especially when you're a big bad villain trying to seem threatening. Since there's no build-up, no foreshadowing, and no musical cue, the shock of his faceplant is already memorable enough.
さあおとなしくそれを渡すんだ。
But because he tripped over himself, this gut-busting stunt feels like it's in a whole league of its own. Apparently, all along, the biggest threat to Dolph's operation was his own 2 feet.
死んでる。
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.